Good day, everybody. Rob here on WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently the 1st of December 2010, and we're out there right now in the Western Pacific. A very, very quiet day today. High pressure really dominating much of the southern islands here, from the Philippines out towards Guam, and even the Siberian high starting to ridge in from the northwest here, bringing us slightly cooler temperatures to Korea and Japan. But overall, very fair weather. And actually, if we look at the enhanced IR here and combined with the Viz shot, you can really see at how fair the weather is throughout these northern countries here. And as we move farther to the south, though, very quiet throughout the Philippines and Taiwan, even up towards Hong Kong today. Some rain showers up in Borneo and over towards Vietnam, but nothing really too much to worry about. But looking out into the forecast, though, a fairly strong yellow sea low here to be developing right in this region, moving off towards the northeast, really going to bring precipitation throughout the Ryukyu Islands and definitely throughout much of Honshu on Thursday into Friday. As we scroll down here, actually really can start to see this low develop, really kick up some of the waves here along the southern coast of Honshu. Definitely going to be a lot of high surf with this. Another thing I want to note, though, is a lot of warm air is going to be pumped up ahead of this. Actually, a frontal system looks like it's going to be developing out of this, and I'm pretty confident in that happening. Actually, as we look at this thickness chart right here, these dashed lines right here are lines that measure the thickness of the atmosphere, and the solid lines are really the surface pressure throughout this entire region here. So as we look at this thickness line, though, we see some packing right in here. Now that's what we call thermal packing, and basically this is telling me that you're gonna have some cold air moving towards the south right here, and warm moving to the north right in this region. So definitely a lot of warm air advection right throughout this area, and a lot of cold air advection throughout this area right here. This is showing the 12Z on the 3rd, so basically the evening of the 3rd on Friday, definitely going to be seeing a cold front moving over much of Japan at this time. And even as we scroll down here, definitely could start to see this start to move off towards the east, and even occlusion starting to form off here. That's what these this bend in the thickness right in here is kind of indicating, and also a little cold pocket kind of forming up in this region here. So definitely going to be seeing some possible lake effect snow as this wraps around here, even into this cold pocket right in here, bringing some more cold air towards the south along with it. So something we do have to watch, though, possibility of some of the first snowfalls of the year up here in Hokkaido as this strong system moves across the region. And throughout much of Japan, though, you're going to be seeing a lot of precipitation out of this. And farther to the south, monsoonal trough really extends from the Gulf of Thailand out towards the Indian Ocean still here, producing some convective activity throughout this entire region here. And actually, we look at the IR imagery for the Indian Ocean here, you really can see this high amount of convection throughout this entire region, basically still due to that monsoonal trough there. And if any tropical systems were to develop in the northern hemisphere this time of year, it would be definitely in this region right here. But speaking of tropical systems, I know all eyes are down here at Tropical Cyclone 03 Sierra, or south, moving towards the southeast right now. Winds are around 35, gusting up to 45 knots right now, and about this time of day, actually, it looks like it's going to be reaching near max intensity. It looks about sustained winds of 50 knots. That's the max forecast as it drifts to the southeast under the subtropical ridge. But into tomorrow and the day after, definitely going to start seeing some more shear along the southern periphery as this starts to run into the prevailing westerlies here in the southern hemisphere, which is really going to kick up the wind shear along the southern periphery here up to about 30 to 40 knots of vertical wind shear, really going to start to tear it apart. But here's the current forecast from JTWC, the Bureau of Meteorology from Australia, still not warning on this, and no reason for them really to do so. It is going to be remaining well south of the Cocos Islands up here, so definitely not really going to see any effect from that outside of high surf along the southern periphery of the island here. But right now, though, looking at a max about 50, gusting up to 55 knots. But as this starts to drift off towards the southeast here, bottom the 4th into the 5th, so over the weekend, basically, you'll start to see the system gradually weaken as it gets sheared apart and basically just eventually dissolve or dissipate over the Indian Ocean with no effects to any land masses at all. But for now, though, we can tell that it is the equivalent of a tropical storm strength winds, and this is probably where JTWC is getting their current sustained wind from. Is up here, you can see about 30 to 35 knots in red, and as we look towards the south along the northern periphery of this storm, you definitely see a cyclonic circulation around it, but seeing about 30 to 35 knots right in this region, basically the northern eye wall, if there was an eye wall around this storm. So definitely there is a circulation and some fairly strong winds associated with it, and definitely some fairly high seas being kicked up around it. Actually, seas per JTWC are right around 14 feet near the center of the storm, so a little rough going for any ocean-going vessels traveling from Australia out towards the west here, or vice versa. So really only any concerns here is for any maritime effect out in this region. So really good news, as this storm will drift towards the southeast and eventually dissipate. But that is all for today, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please email me or post to the shout box to the right. Also, you can ask these questions at storm2k.org. There's a thread on the system, specifically Tropical Cyclone 030 there, so plenty of meteorological talk there as well. So that's all for today. So everybody have a great day, and I will have another update tomorrow. Bye.